Good morning and welcome. It's 9 o'clock. It's the 23rd day of August 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things news, weather, and sports tabletop role-playing game, or all things tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and sports. The OGGM, and it's Monday, which means it's time to take off a look at what the tabletop role-playing game news of the week is. But first, CM Punk to AEW confirmed. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at what's going on in the world of our hobby. We have some Kickstarter news, of course. The Over the Hill 2 Kickstarter from EN Publishing is kickstarting. We've got an adventure called To Smite a Fiend that's going up. We've got some new information on Judge Dredd and the Worlds of 2000 AD role-playing game with supplements coming out. It's nice to hear from them. We haven't heard from them in a while. Of course, we know that the Avatar Legends role-playing game is currently the single number one Kickstarter for a tabletop role-playing game that we know of ever, maybe. We have some more figgly-fobbly confusion about what's going on with multiclassing in 5e, because apparently it's still a thing. We do know that the voting for the 2021 Emmy Awards is now live in all categories. The full list of nominees and judges are up on the Emmys website. If you have already voted, you might want to go back and check to make sure your votes counted. As we announced last week, there was some issues with computer stuff that I don't understand, but apparently everything that was entered onto the algorithm-y spreadsheet computer thingy that didn't take. So if you voted, your vote may not have been counted, so you might want to go back and check to see if it was counted. Of course, we should go without saying that there's not any product for Wizards of the Coast being nominated again this year, and there's only one product for 5e related that's nominated. Everything else is pretty much new stuff, but not that new, which is strange because there's a couple nominees for older games, like Fiasco is nominated for one of the awards, and Fiasco's been around for a long time, so I really don't get the Emmys anymore. The top three nominees are Heart, The City Underneath, the Cortex Prime role-playing game system, and Sentinels of the Multiverse comic book role-playing game. I know that Heart's supposed to be interesting. I've heard good things about Cortex. I haven't heard anything really good about Sentinels, but we're still looking into it. Gale Force 9 is back on good terms with Wizards of the Coast, that they have announced a release of a Drizzt and the Companions of the Hall set of figures, figuring all old Drizzt. I guess it's the new revised Drizzt. I don't know what anymore. And his buddies, Bruno, Regis, Wolfgar, Catabre, Gwynnifer, and of course, Drizzt and his two swords. Of course, since Drizzt's complete thing is being rewritten post changes to the Wizards of the Coast canon, I don't know if Gwynnifer's still a thing, or if the swords are still a thing, or if Regis, Catabre, and Bruno are still a thing, because they're completely rewriting his story. So, who knows? But these figures are coming out. The Drizzt one looks cool. The Regis one looks cool. The Bruno one looks okay. The Wolfgar one and the Catabre. Actually, the Catabre one looks like it'll break really easily. The figure appears to be Drizzt and Gwynnifer together. I don't know if there's also going to be a Drizzt and Gwynnifer separate figure, because the Drizzt and Gwynnifer together figure looks more like sort of a table art piece than a figure you could use. Does it say the sizes? No. Oh, they will be. It does say, though, that these miniatures will be unassembled and unpainted, and is available for pre-order pretty soon. Actually, now. The WizKids has also announced a foot-tall Emerald Dragon coming in November for $99. And coming in January 2020, we have the new D&D Frameworks line set featuring unpainted and unassembled sprue, S-P-R-U-E miniatures, meaning the plastic minis are still on the sprues from the molds. We have 11 previews so far. Each one is going to be running about $14.99 for the singles and $24.99 for the larger ones. And then the super large one for $40. Actually, that's cheaper than I thought they were going to be. So the small ones are running about $15. Actually, that's more expensive than I thought they would be. The medium-sized ones are running $25, which is what I thought they were going to run. And the real large one is running $40, which is actually less than I thought the real large one was going to run. They also have some packs that I think we're going to see a little later on, where you get like 4 or 5 creatures that you can mix and max. If you haven't had a chance to go to the preview of the framework set, you can see that they've already shown how you can mix and match, and they made like a 4-armed ogre thingy. If you're a figure guy or a model guy, this could be something fun. It allows you to specially design specific looks for figures and personalize them a little more. Of course, you could also just go to Hero Forge and pay about roughly the same amount of money and get the figure exactly the way you want. Still, it's a good idea, and I want to see where they go with this, because it could be a lot of fun. I, of course, am not a figure guy, but I know a lot of people who are excited about it, so we'll see. Steve Perrin, as we know, passed away. He created a lot of role-playing stuff, including RuneQuest, and we do have a Michael O'Brien from Chaosium posted a 6-part series by Perrin on the creation of RuneQuest. Catalyst Games Labs released a new Shadowrun adventure. Always nice to see something coming out for Shadowrun, one of the single most complicated role-playing games of all time, but so much fun when you can get it to work the way it's supposed to. This is called City Assassin's Night. It's set in the city of Barcelona. It involves a mystery plot involving a, wait for it, assassin! Okay, it's called Assassin's Night. Literally, the plot is in the title. So, yeah, no surprise there. Mophidius, a name I continue to apparently say wrong, but at this point, who cares? I'm saying it the way I say it, just like I say Humble Bumble. And if Mophidius doesn't like it, well, I'm giving them free press. And I like it. Mophidius, it just sounds cool. In fact, I might name a character Mophidius. We have a sourcebook for Dune Adventures coming out already. A 156-page sourcebook features an overview of the planet Acaras, its freedoms, cultures, spice harvesting, of course, the worm, the spice. Are they connected? And other stuff related to the desert planet of Dune/Acaras. Arcaris. God, that's such a hard IP to make an RPG around. I can't make a call on this one yet. I'm excited to see Dune made into an RPG, just like I'm excited to see them make another attempt at a Dune movie. This will be the 4th, by the way. But it's just such a complicated, unusually weird IP to try and translate to easily approachable things like movie, TV, role-playing games. I mean, Dune is just thick and weird and strange and mind messery and just a product of its time. Yeah, unlike Lord of the Rings, Dune doesn't really translate well, because so much of it is just politics and talking and, philosophy. So we'll see what happens with Dune, the role-playing game. It could be awesome. I, of course, wish nothing but the best for the creators of this. I hear nothing but good things about the game and, of course, the 2D20 system from Mophidius. And it's nice to see that, if nothing else, it'll introduce people to the work of Frank Herbert and maybe will cause, between this and the upcoming movie, a resurgence of interest in Dune. And, if you've never read it, it's definitely a read. Moving on, we have some information from our pals over at Paizo. Pathfinder Ratchet of the Righteous is coming in just a few short weeks, and both Alcat Games and Paizo have plenty of previews. This game is based... Oh, I think they're talking about a video game? Yes, it is. This is I thought there already was a Wrath of the Righteous video game. Maybe this is a new version of it? Because I know they did Kingmaker, and I thought they did Wrath of the Righteous too, but maybe they're redoing it, like Baldur's Gate and then Baldur's Gate Revisited kind of things. But anyways, it's coming out. The game is based on the Pathfinder First Edition rules. We have the core rules coming out for $50 sometime at the end of September. And we've got audio, art books, soundtracks, and stuff like that. coming out for $100 later on around October. Copycat provocateur Dr. Robert Howard filed and received a copyright for his deck Magic the Gathering cards titled Angels and Demons. Hovden claims that his arrangement of the intellectual property of Wizards of the Coast results in an acquired expression and is thus protected under United States copyright law. In public statements about the registration, Hovden has implied that he has the legal authority to prevent the use of his copyrighted deck for use in tournaments. Some in the Magic Gathering community expressed concerns that the tournament landscape may become a race to file copyright on specific decks in order to prevent others from using them. Wow! This is a very thin copyright. It exists for collections and compilations for materials to express creativity. The law does not necessarily apply to straight lists of information. 2 examples given, of travel guides and recipes, where you can copyright the idea, but you can't copyright a list of ingredients. And so that is the weird, if I'm reading this correctly, the weird area that this deck falls into. He can copyright this specific deck, but he can't really copyright each specific card. Yeah, why would you do this? This just sounds like the most egotistical, assholey thing anybody could do. So May 30th, 2021, Dr. Robert Hovden filed a copyright for his Magic deck, basically saying nobody else can ever use this specific deck or they get in trouble. Of course, Miss Dr. Hovden, all I have to do is change 3 things, and it's not your deck. And if you're copyrighting the deck specifically the way it is, then all I could do is use different lands that do the same thing, different cards have different artwork or different wordings that do the exact same thing, because I don't know if you're aware of this, sir, but there are a lot of versions of Magic cards, and there's a lot of land. And, if you're saying, I can't use this specific swamp because you copyrighted this specific swamp, well, okay, there's like 1,000 other swamps I can use. This is very weird. This is very unusual. I have a feeling we need to talk about this more in a separate blog. Nothing good's going to come out of this. This is just the most stupid, asinine, egotistical, fuck you thing I've ever heard a Magic player do. And I've heard a lot of shitty things that Magic players have done. And finally, from Humble Bumble, yes, I mispronounce it. I always have, and I always will. From Humble Bumble, we have a plethora of RPG-related bumbles, including a Starfinder book bumble from Pazio featuring 4 levels ranging from $5 all the way up to $50 for every digital Starfinder product. This goes to benefit the Comic Books for Kids charity. We have the 13th Age Treasure Maps Adventure Bundle, offering the entire library of the fantasy role-playing game. The bundle runs through Thursday and supports Oceana, which is a charity that's trying to reduce plastic pollution. The Mutant Chronicles book bundle, featuring rule books for both Savage Worlds and the 2D20 system version of the post-apocalyptic RPG, and figures. This bundle runs until mid-September and benefits the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. And of course, we have the Big Brain bundle featuring strategy games like BattleTech. This bundle ends Wednesday and benefits a charity of your choice. That is pretty much all the tabletop role-playing game news of the week. We have a review of the Mwangi Expanse product available. If you're interested in Pathfinder 2nd Edition take on the weird jungles of the Mwangi Expanse for the Lost Omens new setting of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there's a review of that. That appears to be it right now for the tabletop role-playing game news. Oh, here's a picture of the... No, it's not a picture. Here's a drawing. There's a drawing and a picture of the Emerald Dragon up on the WizKids site, or at least... actually, this looks like projected. like what it might look like. Yeah, this is not the actual figure. It's artist's rendering of the actual figure. So done through computer 3D. So if you want to get an idea of what the Emerald Dragon figure might look like, or I mean, you could use also as Green Dragon, I guess. That's up at the Wizard Kids site. And that is it for all the tabletop role-playing game news of the week. If you appreciate this content and want to hear more, let me know. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to subscribe and help me hit 1,000 subs, and I'll buy myself and everybody else an ice cream. No, I won't. And that's about it. Oh, yeah. CM Punk to AEW confirmed.